sponsors for Cletus and Cars. We got David Stacy here, the LS Postal. So good to have you down, brother.
Thank you, Jeremy.
You brought me a very special package. We'll get into that later, but let's check this out real quick here before we get this thing on the dyno.
Sounds good.
All right, so guys, he got here just a little while ago. I read the tune out of this thing, loaded up a whole new tune. We're gonna go completely different. We need to try and see if we can get this thing to pull the wheels at the track. It's kind of like a cater tot, but with an LS. Super short wheelbase. It's an LSA setup right here, and it's an LY6. So
LY6 6L90 combo. Got a Circle D billet 32 in it. Brian Tooley Racing Stage 4 PDS cam, I believe.
A lot of good parts. We just turned on the flex fuel sensor. This thing should be able to make a lot of power. Really love this power plate. It makes the most bottom end torque of anything. So you told me it's okay, Georgie, okay. About 3,900 pounds, super small wheelbase. If we get everything to work right, this thing should be able to pull the tires at the track.
Yeah.
All right, it's definitely sketchy. When I first got in here, I was expecting the steering wheel to be over here, but of course it's mail trucks. They can be able to hand mail over there. Really, really cool. We lowered the idle. It's got a super nice sound. All right, so we're gonna do some shakedown runs, see where it's at. Should be able to make a pretty healthy amount of boost. It had some cooling problems before. Looks like we got a much better setup than what you had at LS Fest. So yeah. It's always refining, it's always tweaking and making it better. So
it's like making it last minute, like the post office, like showing up last minute.
Yeah. All right, straight back. All right, so this is our normal post office guy right here, man. What do you think about this thing, dude?
I want it for my route.
Hell yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, we're gonna see. It should be pretty close to high 600 wheel, so we'll see.
Damn, man. That is too much fun.
That was I first tried a third gear pull, and then I wanted to do a fourth gear pull and see what it did. I got into it in fourth, and it was unlocked, and then it locked up, so it seemed like it shifted, but I believe it was a unlock and then a lock, because that's what it felt like. And I only pulled it like 5,700 there. Boost is about 11 pounds.
11?
So I need to check the bypass valve, which I did not do yet. I want to check that, make sure that that's all set. Air fuel looks
pretty good. I saw 11, so
yeah, we got plenty of room there, and I think we can go up in Spark Advance without any problem. But we're off to a good start. So let's go from there. All right, so this right here is basically like the wastegate of the blower, and as soon as we go into it, we want it to be completely 100% shut and funneling all of that airflow
right
into the engine. So right now, it's just a loosen. You don't want it to. We basically want it to be able to hold water effectively. If it'll do that, then we're going to keep all the boost. So I just took the tension off of where it would be opening.
So what are you thinking? It wasn't closed all the way?
I'm just trying to make sure. It's like we might pick up a quarter pound of boost, we might pick up nothing. I've done it a couple times and picked up like 3 or 4 pounds of boost. It's just, I don't see that happening on this given the pulley. Crawl before we can walk, and walk before we can run. Spark at it, a 3.5 of timing. Still working with the upshift, downshift stuff, so it's a little bit weird. That first pull right there, downshifted. It seemed like it was grabbing and then downshift or whatever, but That was a 4th gear pull. So that looks really good though. I mean, that was a legit 584 horsepower, 600 wheel pound-feet of torque. Still a smidge rich on the top, and I can definitely still throw some more timing at it. So we're getting somewhere. Part of the gains are from spark, part of the gains are from cooling down, part of the gains were from just correcting the fuel. So I didn't mean to have it cool down that long, but we had a couple of distractions. So I want to keep it as real as possible. We're going to put some ice in it in a little bit, try and see what it does, cool down. But I want to try and torture it a little bit, make sure it's going to be good and solid. I locked the converter and it stayed in that mile-an-hour longer. So realistically, we only need the converter for 1st gear, 2nd gear, whatever, and then we'll lock it up as soon as it hits 3rd, and it needs to stay locked and solid, and that'll
stay locked through every gear.
Mile-an-hour faster.
You would lock it up in every gear after that, then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ideally, locking it up in 2nd gear would be perfect, but there are some differences between. You said it was a 13 Silverado processor is what we got for the
09 Silverado processor
for the trans.
Yes, 13 is
okay. And then I have a 12 CTSV, so I'm kind of trying to marry the two and keep it locked up, but the converter also wants certain things too, so I have to like super apply a lot of trans pressure to it to make sure it doesn't slip within there, and I need to check all the downshifts. So it's like each time I'm inching towards
getting it ironed out.
CTSV strategy, basically. So but yeah, we're getting somewhere. Looking good. Tweaking on that fuel mixture, trying to throw a little bit more spark at it, and I cannot wait to get the E85 in it because you guys have seen me do a bunch of E85 stuff. It will pick up a ton of power right then. Got a pretty cool stance. I got to do something a little bit different than what I would normally have to do right here. So this just has the regular column shift. It doesn't have the selectable 6th gear or selectable gears like the tap up, tap down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it in, and right when it's about to shift 4th, I go over here to the bidirectional control and I hit command and hold 4th gear. Wheel. I think that was a different gear right there. So in the name of torture testing this thing, we're going to try and run this kind of hard again. 759, but that's on the gear shift right there, so don't think that that's legit. And we're looking really, really good, honestly. And for it to make the same power pretty much back to back, I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to. Well, dang, his check engine light actually does work. We got some stuff we got to turn off right there, so we'll take care of that here in just a minute. 561, holding steady. So I threw a little bit more timing at it, didn't really seem to care too much. I think we're gonna probably stick there and then go throw some E85 in it, brother. All right, so we're in the middle of tuning the LS Postal car. They're swapping over some fuels, and you guys have met RG from Garrett's channel, I'm sure. 316 speed, and has this actually been on his channel or no?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so this is a really bad Mamma Jamma here. 427, right?
Yeah.
And twin turbo. So yeah, this will shame my wife's Escalade. However, I still would swear that I would beat you probably to maybe 70, and then you'd freight train past me at 100.
I don't know. We'll have to race them.
Yeah, but this thing is bad, and so you got a little issue here, and we're gonna try and see what you got. What do you think's going on? You got like a miss or something like that, or what?
Some sort of tune issue.
Oh. This generates an ungodly amount of heat underneath here, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. But it is a bad machine. I remember tuning this, and God, it was like
2 years ago.
Wow, really was that long?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You're our HP tuners guy, so.
And you really wear out tires in the rear much faster than you wear them out in the front. That's weird how that works. Oh, dude, what happened?
Well, we can't get a straight answer out of anybody, but I kind of have my suspicions who did that.
Oh.
We'll wait till after police and cars.
Security cameras?
In case there's any more damage.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. Was this in some burnout competition or something?
No.
Or was it like a practice for a burnout competition?
No, this literally, I know who did this, but I'm not going to say it on camera.
Oh.
I know who did it. They won't fess up to it.
I have my suspicions as well. All right, so just sitting here right now, it seems like we're down a cylinder. And bank 1 is incredibly lean. So it's adding a whole bunch of fuel, probably because it's, well, just pumping air. So we're gonna have to see something about that. We'll go up and down the road real quick here, see if we can see the misfire more clearly in the O2 sensors. It should be pretty obvious when we go into enrichment, it should be dropping out. So let's just go for a quick little ride. It's not generating a lot of vacuum either.
Nope.
So yeah, I mean, I thought you had a pretty healthy sized cam in here, but that's not a lot of vacuum at all.
No.
I thought it was more than that. Definitely looks more bank 1 related. We have like it's kind of dropping out a little bit more there. Honestly, the spool feels pretty good though, given that little bit of throttle. Yeah, when we're having backfires and stuff like that, that definitely leads me to believe like either got a foul plug, burnt wire, something. But yeah, it's definitely ugly. That was just entirely too easy right there. But yeah, dude, I mean, it really does look like bank 1. Oddly enough, the LS Postal truck had the same situation here just a little earlier. All right, so you're gonna go back to the shop, get this all figured out, but we gotta set something up. We need to have some sort of, you know, my truck versus the Urus, or the smart car versus something not so fast, because your stuff
Urus is a fair race.
I don't know, man. It's just a big fat truck, dude.
Oh please, the Urus isn't that fast stock.
I don't know, I thought it was pretty fast.
I mean, we can race this.
Oh, yeah, I got nothing for this. That's not gonna handle this.
Bring a Lambo.
All right, brother, we'll see.
Right,
we'll see.
First pull on some E.
Yeah, right on what I was hoping it was gonna do. I'm at 638, 562.
Picked up almost 40 right there, right?
Yeah, and if we give it a little cool down, like that was the longest time.
Yeah, it was a real long idle.
Totally legit. 25 degrees of timing. I didn't take away the timing.
Yeah, I forgot
but
about
I will.
that.
They're not that bad. ITs aren't that bad. T's on that one pull are 93, and it ends at 111.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's a short little pull. Like I said, I want to try and keep it really real. So I will say already, this is a very weird sensation. Very, very odd.
One thing you gotta learn though, you gotta stay close to that right side.
Yeah. I'm already like feeling way over there.
Now I know how some people feel when I drive.
It really does feel like I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so easy to rip the tires off. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's definitely already, you can tell it's gonna be sketchy a little bit.
She sounds rowdy.
Sketchy ride, I tell you.
Sounds great. She buggy's pretty good, yeah.
It's a ripper. It's definitely a ripper. It's fun. It's got the right amount of sketch for sure. It really does remind me of the smart car, man. It's bad though. Like you could, it's I think it's definitely more stable in some ways than the smart car, but it's so very different still.
It's got the top heaviness.
Yeah, it's
so you understand when I say at 110
Yeah.
miles an hour you feel okay, but anything faster you're like on the sketch.
It's yeah. I mean, it's
You can
definitely
see it
like,
moving around a little.
Yeah,
you hit that bump,
moving.
I can tell you let off on it because it scared you a little bit.
Well, it's just like, yeah, it hits hard and like the suspension is very
Loose.
Yeah, it's just it moves a bit. It feels pretty good.
That sounds rowdy.
It moves. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
really good.
It sounds freaking awesome.
So you're the only person who's ever driven beside me.
It's cool, man.
What's your opinion?
No, it's a hell of a sensation for sure. It's awesome. Dude. It's really awesome.
It's hard to explain. For me, it's hard to explain people what it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a powerful package and a much lighter than a CTSV,
Quite a
setup.
bit, yeah.
Man, I was pedaling it just trying to see how it felt, and it was like hazing, and then I pedaled it I think halfway through third.
So on a prep track, you think it will?
Oh, I think you can pull the wheels for sure. It's geared aggressively. That's the other thing too. Whereas the CTSV has so much more mile an hour per gear. But yeah, it's pretty sick, man.
So I put the trailer tires on it and we do some burnouts
trailer.
this weekend.
Yeah, do it, man. All right, guys, we've been dying to get back our S10, twin turbo, all-wheel drive, V8, manual trans, and we've been breaking stuff left and right. So, guys, David Stacy with LS Postal, he has helped design something along with LOJ and RPM. We have the trifecta of perfection right here, we hope. This had a 27 spline. We were breaking this, and well, RPM put a 30 spline in there. It is a much thicker, larger shaft, and should be quite a bit stronger.
Call it the Viper transmission.
And it should be rated for quite a bit more power. Now, what you've done is you've taken an NP 261, and that's an LT. I thought it was an HD, but the LT was a 27 spline.
Yes.
And you made a spud shaft right there, modified it. You can actually take this, stick a 6L80 in front of that, and this guy right here can modify it for you and be able to make a stupid nasty all-wheel drive setup out of a 6L80. That's sick. That would be so nasty.
Stupid nasty.
Yeah.
If
So-
you can think it, we can make it. That's
Yeah,
what I-
that's really, really cool. You can get a hold of him. We're going to put his contact information in there, and also you can probably either hit him up through Instagram. That'll be at @LS_postal. And, well, he's got a YouTube channel as well. So you can check out the in-depth stuff of what we've done with this. And, heck, you might even be able to do some videos on that. Dude, that might really take off for you. We have our LOJ adapter right here. That has a 5-bolt for our old one. So we're gonna have to re-drill all of those and make sure our clocking is just right. But just to give you guys the idea of what we're doing, let's put that on there real fast here and we can get an idea. So that is a much bigger, beefier spud shaft right there. We're gonna be able to have that guy, which is much stronger than the transfer case that what we have on the S10 right now.
Yep.
We just gotta get it in the truck.
Yes.
And so we don't know if we're gonna have to clearance floor and stuff, but it's gonna be pretty fascinating. Now this transfer case right here, we can manually select low and high, and actually what we could even do is take out the for low. Like we have no reason for that. So we can just go, you know.
Maybe you could. I mean, there's, when you take them apart, if you look inside, there's a lot of things that work together. So
like,
you'd have
that's
to make
frowned upon.
maybe a spacer in the place where it would go for high, for low.
Leave 4 low in case I want to take it to the truck pull, man, when you're not in town.
Sounds like a bad idea, George.
Low and just take we just do front wheel drive burnouts.
In case of emergencies. Horsepower can this thing hold? You ever seen one come apart?
I've never seen one come apart. They're usually the biggest problems. I've never really seen it. It's hard finding these because
unlimited power.
That's all we need to hear. What about this shaft though? How much more can that take than the last one?
if you know how much a Viper can handle, you know how much that shaft can handle.
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite a bit more foot-pounds than what we had, but
And the size difference, I think, what's about a 1/4 inch bigger, because a 27 spline will fit inside this hole without touching it.
jeez.
And that just tells you how much difference the size is.
So the perfect thing with this is the fact that we can deselect all-wheel drive for doing burnouts, then we can reselect it for a launch, or whatever we want to do if we decide to do some road course stuff or whatever. So I know we get us into a whole bunch of things where we try and do stuff that it's not designed to do, and we end up breaking things. That's part of my problem. Asking too much for something that wasn't designed for it. There's gonna be so many more doors opening because somebody could probably say, hey, look, can you make this to this? And that might even be better. We'd love to hear back from you guys as far as, heck, whatever you might want to throw and mix and match together in order to be able to get the desired result.
Are we going to be able to use the same drive shaft front and rear?
You got a tape measure?
One-legged duck swim in a circle?
22 inches, what's yours?
Jeremy?
I don't know where it's at.
I'd have been lying though. Oh, it's the same size.
So,
So hopefully,
in theory, we might be able to have the same drive shaft, which was a weird deal on
Well, that's-
that.
Dude, I know. I don't want to have to go through that again.
Yeah.
Ours is a male coming out.
Okay, so we are going to have to
Line's
change the
coming out
front
there.
drive.
If you get a 4-wheel drive shaft out of one of these trucks, it slides on, you can take it to the transmission shop and they can modify it.
Very cool. Well, I mean, that's a whole exciting, different avenue. You know, the fact that we're mixing and matching stuff that wasn't designed to be done
But you know what we will do? We'll adapt.
and
We'll
overcome.
overcome.
Hell yeah. So if you want to see a little bit more of an in-depth and his perspective of what we've done tuning his LS Postal truck today, check that out. Guys, this truck was rad. It is such a weird sensation while you're driving it, and you're actually like in the middle of the road, because naturally when you're driving, you're kind of towards the center of the road. It's just a weird sensation here. I'm also super pumped that David was able to make that spud shaft, and now we can run that transfer case. We'll be getting back the S10 build very, very shortly. Definitely been waiting on that for a long, long time. This is the direction that we want to go in. You guys' support has been paramount in changing what we do at Fasterproms. We're able to take on so much more and provide you guys with so much more content, and it's because of your efforts and your investment in us. So guys, thank you so very much for that. We got hats, t-shirts, lanyards, stickers. Definitely check it out under Fasterproms store, and there's a link in the description. I want to leave you guys with a quote: be kind to unkind people. They need it the most. All right, the song I want to leave you with here is Brantley Gilbert, and that is Kickin' in the Sticks. For those of you guys that aren't really into some country stuff, you gotta give it a chance. It is not like you think. Hope you guys enjoy it. God bless you. We'll see you next episode.